Hey guys, good to talk to you here. We're starting a new unit. We're starting the genetics unit. I realize it's not ideal to do it here on the iPads or to do it online watching a video. However, you know that if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please email me. I would love to help you out. I would love to explain things some more. So here we go, genetics, peas in a pod. Genetics were kind of first started by this gentleman named Mendel. He was a monk in Europe somewhere a few hundred years ago, and he kind of noticed that some plants, some pea plants, looked similar to others, some looked different, and then if he put different pea plants together, he could get different traits. So some terms, first of all, heredity is this passing on from the characteristics from parents to offspring. Gametes is just a general name for the sex cells, so sperm and egg, the male and the female. Fertilization, that's when they come together, and then the zygote is what you get at the end. So the fertilized egg is called a zygote. Sometimes it's called an embryo, sometimes it's called some other things, but we're generally just going to stick with zygote here. Now, Mendel, he did most of his work, he was a gardener. He did it with pea plants. Peas are relatively simple plants in that, well, it says here on the slide, they only have 14 total chromosomes as opposed to our 23 pairs. They're cheap, they grow quickly, but it's also really easy to see their traits. They either have the trait or they don't. They're either short or they're tall. There's not a lot of like intermediate, like the seeds are yellow or the seeds are green. There's not a lot of like greenish yellow seeds. And then in this case too, the hybrid, we have the offspring of parents with one trait, and then the offspring has one of each gene, one of each allele. Peas also reproduce by self-pollination. That makes them really easy to study. If you have mammals and you have to, get certain mammals together and then wait months for them to have a baby, it just gets kind of crazy and it's hard to study things like that. Oh yeah, I mentioned the word allele a second ago, but alleles are different gene forms for a specific trait. So alleles here, oops, sorry. This is the first time I've ever screencast, so I'm trying to figure it all out still. For a gene, usually we have like uppercase, uppercase, or lowercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase. So like this one here would be a hybrid. But each of these letters by themselves is the allele, and it's pronounced allele. The dominant, this is the one that occurs most often in nature. So this is the one that's generally the one observed. So in a case like this, the dominant is this one. It's usually uppercase. And then recessive, it's lowercase. This is the one that doesn't occur as much in nature because it's either a weaker trait, so the ones that have it have died off. Maybe they didn't have the right camouflage, or it ended up leading to some kind of illness or something. Or it's just masked by this dominant trait here, so you don't see it because they might be carriers for it, but they don't have the actual trait. So Mendel here, he spent a lot of time in the garden. Remember, he was a monk. He didn't have a lot of other things to do. He would take his pea plants and he would take one extreme characteristic, like tall here. He would breed it with a short, and then he kept track of what the offspring were. So in this case, a tall plant and a short plant give us 4 tall plants, and then he would keep track of this. He would keep track of this. He would study this. He would take those seeds and breed them with other pea plants. Like I said, he spent a lot of time in the garden. He was able to come up or contribute to a few things, a few theories, a few laws here. Law of segregation. It's not that type of segregation. We're keeping people apart. It's segregation. It means that each of the traits, let me see, make sure I get this correct. When the sperm and the egg are produced, they each get half of the genetic material from their parents. All right, so going through this here, like I have an anaphase here, at meiosis, when these chromosomes pull apart, they're being segregated from each other. So they're being pulled apart from each other. Phenotype is what something looks like. I think phenotype, physical appearance. So I can look at someone and I can say, oh, they have brown hair, they have blue eyes, they have you know, whatever other visible trait. I know someone's phenotype just by looking at them. Genotype, so genotype and then genes, this is someone's allele combination. I could guess maybe at someone's traits if they have the dominant traits, but I might not know if they have something like this, where they've got this recessive trait that's kind of hiding out or is masked by the dominant. So if they have the dominant trait, they could be like this, or they could have these traits, and I wouldn't know just by looking at them, because those two would look the same. Then homozygous, they have two of the same alleles, so these are homozygous. And then heterozygous is two different alleles. So kind of like a hybrid, it's a similar thing, it's technicalities there. Some things to keep in mind is when you are writing these letters down, you might want to use letters like A's or B's, letters where the uppercase looks different than the lowercase. Letters like C don't work super well because it's hard to tell which one's uppercase and which one's lowercase. So that's more just a preference thing, but giving you guys a heads up on that. Here's just some humor, you know, heterozygotes. I can't be there and tell you guys jokes, so, you know, I got to do what I can do here. All right, another law that was come up with, whether it was Mendel himself or he just contributed to it, is that genes for different traits are inherited independently. So the genes that you got from your parents for your height, the genes you got for your eye color, all of that stuff, they're separated in anaphase. They're separated independently from each other. So an example in my own family, me and my sister, we look a lot alike, so we did get some similar genes, like similar for hair color, similar for eye shape, but my sister's about 6 inches taller than me. So she got a different height gene, but maybe we got similar or the same like eye color gene. There isn't like a whole, like a package deal where all the genes come together. They're all separated differently and apart from each other. This we have, I love these things, man. Punnett square. I think you probably saw these in middle school, so we'll be spending some more time with them. But you put, you know, one parent up here, parent number 1, parent number 2. It doesn't generally matter which one is the mom or the dad. It's not like the mom always goes up here, you know, the dad or the male parent always goes up there. For our sakes, for our intents and purposes, we're just going to have parent 1 on one side, parent 2 on the other side. And then it's like a multiplication chart. So these A's, you know, are here. These A's go here. Sorry, it's a little bit hard to draw horizontal, but so each column and row, that's how you can fill in the boxes. Another one. There's so many good memes, so many good science memes. You know, so you got to think of this when you're dating. Make sure the Punnett squares would work out.